another day, another stage to conquer.
Sure thing.
Why can't you just let me stay inside? I can fight as well.
Where is he?
Taking this.
Let's get this operation underway, shall we? Starting the mission now.
Let's begin. It's time to move.
It's Birdie's time to shine. Sure hope this goes okay.
Hi, Jojo. Please leave
Shall
me
we? I'll provide assistance. Leave this one to me. Looks like you could use some help. I will give it my all. Please support them.
Thanks, sweetheart.
Hear you loud and clear. Leave the backup to me.
You go on ahead, Joey.
Territory will greatly advance the war front. Now come, let us strike at their commander.
The enemy has surrounded our main force, Your Majesty. We must clear them away.
Remember, we have more than the Imperial troops in Randolph to think about. Keep your eyes on those mercenaries, too.
No point in us fighting the Ashen Demon here if we can avoid it.
Come on, we have to defend it.
I won't let anyone near this stronghold.
It's not over.
I'll tear you apart! Forgive me, but we can't afford to lose here.
My turn? Somebody wants to die.
Stand back.
Just one left.
Take a breather.
Let's begin. I will be your shield.
All right,
Birdie's
Missy.
time to shine. You need some backup?
Let's get this operation underway, shall we? I'll cover you.
Path is open. Move out.
Rosie, you're all right, baby.
I see neither hide nor hair of the mercenaries. They're most likely lying in wait.
And the Ashen Demon's probably with them. We're gonna have a decision on our hands once they show up.
Good thing we brought a recon unit. They'll sniff out any ambushes that might be lying around.
Order the reconnaissance unit to uncover any ambushes awaiting us.
Victory is mine. Here it comes. Out of the way. You're done. That worked like a charm. We won't have to worry about the enemy surprising us now.
Got you!
This is my safe space, and they can't have it.
No one gets past us. Got it?
just ahead. Let's rush them.
You won't lay a finger on my brother! Is that Randolph's little sister? What is she doing here? Here goes!
So they slipped free. Enough toying. We go for the Joker.
Ambushes are a textbook mercenary tactic. All will be lost if our base falls. Send reinforcements. Closing this gate might buy us some time.
Weren't strong enough.
Randolph, I'm so sorry. Please stay safe.
Now, close the gate.
Please! No! If only I had done more to stop her from fighting!
Out of the way! Too easy.
Not bad.
Here it comes! You're done!
I'm not finished. Defensive position.
Come on. We have to defend it.
Here it comes! Out of the way! You're done! I won't let anyone near this stronghold. This is my safe space and they can't have it! Take this!
I'll take this, thank you. No, I don't want that one. I don't want that one. Jesus Christ.
We will not let them inside our base.
Send word to the demon. Our ambush is a failure.
So Alois has foundered. I'll be right there.
Let's get this operation underway, shall we? I'll cover you.
Alois has fled too? Then it falls to me. The commander is
We're
joining
going
the
this way.
battle.
Dimitri, we're going this way.
Everyone,
Dimitri.
on me. Our moment for victory has come.
Randolph's joined the fight? I'd better fall back and help him out.
You know what must be done. If you want to protect your friends, you have to put an end to the demon.
The Ashen Demon's coming. We must finish off Randolph before that monster arrives.
No one gets past us. Got it?
I don't care who you are. You go no further.
I'm not gonna die here.
I'm going to avenge you. Die here. I must protect my home. I must protect my family. Flesh, forgive me.
Is that how I do it? No goodie.
I leave to take care of one backup squad and come back to this? What a mess.
Hi, Gerald.
Randolph is defeated, and you are the only ones who remain. The question now is, will you and your mercenaries yield?
I see no other choice.
Well fought, everyone. We emerge victorious.
Yay, did it.
What can I say? You got us.
I like this one better.
You rolled right over us and took out our employer. I know when it's time to raise the white flag.
Wait, that's it? You're giving up?
We've faced you in battle many times, only to be bested at every turn.
Yeah, you've pretty much run us out of business by now. It's not easy finding new clients in the best of times. And no matter how good our reputation is, none of it matters if we can't actually win. At this rate, I'll have to stop calling myself the Blade Breaker.
In that case, what would you say to a new employer? The Holy Kingdom of Fargus. We've crossed swords many times and suffered great losses on both sides. We surely bear some bad blood between us. But part of me wonders if we cannot put that gruesome history behind us. Assuming, of course, it was coin, not conviction, that brought you to the Empire's side.
Don't worry. Words like conviction aren't even in a merc's vocabulary. But if we do join up with you, I can't imagine there will be much avoiding the Knights of Seros. The problem is, me and the Archbishop have a bit of a past together. I'd prefer to keep my distance if I can.
I'll remember that. The Church has stationed themselves in the town of Camulus, within Blathed territory. We'll be sure to keep you away from there. And I promise to warn you should Lady Rhea ever visit our encampment. Ah, and I'll place you in a separate unit, should we ever fight alongside the knights themselves. Are those conditions agreeable? We could use your strength among our ranks, if you're willing to join.
Yeah, you should join us. I mean, by now we all know firsthand how strong you are. And sure, there might be some folks here and there who have reservations about you fighting on our side. But they'll definitely come around once they see how dependable you are.
What do you say? I doubt the Empire will have any jobs for us after all of this. No better time for a fresh start.
I agree. And you, Alois? It might be strange, being back on the same side as your old knight friends.
I've already made my decision. I have sworn to follow this fine captain wherever he goes. Besides, I'm sure my allies will welcome me back with... well, not with open arms. They'll welcome me back with crossed arms.
Oh my god. No,
Well,
sir.
guess that's that. Just tell us when we start. I'll go talk to the group and smooth things over. You two, stay here with the client.
Got it, thanks.
Understood, Captain.
We have a good bit of smoothing over to do on our end as well. Let's get to it.
I feel... I've got... Seems like...
I'm kidding. This'll help me.
You're being grumpy down there, Missy.
It feels strange standing here with the Bladebreaker and the Ashen Demon after all we've been through.
We have fought so many times. I never expected we would end up on the same side.
Those two give us quite the struggle. All the better that they're on our side now. I've got my own grievances, but the end result is a positive one.
Yeah, your dad's alive.
And whatever we may feel, this is His Majesty's choice.
Not everyone will be too happy about it, but let's all just try and get along, okay? Though I'm sure the Ashen Demon being such a stunning beauty will soften the blow a bit. Kidding, of course.
Sylvain, no.
I thought you had outgrown those jokes. Why don't you do us all a favor and stay quiet?
It'll be an honor teaming up with you. Oh, and don't let me forget to introduce you to everyone later.
I think we should start with a nice sparring session. That's the Blue Lion's way, isn't it?
Indeed it is. I recall the same thing happening the last time we invited a mercenary into our ranks.
We're happy to be here. And, try to fit in, kid.
We know all too well what you're capable of. I'm glad such might will now be fighting for our cause, rather than against it.
I'll start researching how best to incorporate Geralt and his mercenaries into our formations. From here, we plan to join up with the Alliance and the Church. then march on Garreg Mach as one unified force. I'll do what I must to ensure Lady Rhea doesn't come into contact with our new friends here.
I appreciate it.
And what of our other mercenary friend? You've been awfully quiet. Where did they go?
Poof.
Sorry about all this, Arval. I know you've only been giving me your powers because you want me to beat the Ashen Demon.
Don't worry about it. It's for the best, right? For all my doomsaying, everything seems to be right as rain. Recruiting Gerald's mercenaries and the Ashen Demon was the right choice.
I hope you're right.
What's wrong? Feeling lost now that you don't have an enemy to chase around the countryside?
Wow.
I'm not lost. I know exactly what I've got to do. Win this war. I'm gonna help Dimitri and my friends make a new Fodlan where everyone can live in peace. Well, any snarky follow-up for that?
It's hardly the first time you've mentioned it. I suppose it's a fine goal, yes. If that's what you want, then I'll just have to help you achieve it. After all, I'm your partner in destiny. I'm here for you and you alone.
I pray for your safety in the coming battle, Your Majesty. And you can rest easy. We will cover the Western Front in your absence.
I don't know what I've done to deserve such reliable knights in my service, but I thank you all the same. The monastery will be ours. I swear it. Now then, let us all live to see the sun rise on Fargus another day.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Guess this is it. The final push.
Indeed. And with Leicester and the Church involved, this will undoubtedly be our largest battle since this very war began. By now, we're well acquainted with what Adrestia is capable of. Yet, it's difficult to predict what we'll be up against. All we can do now is take up arms to fight, survive, and ultimately carve our way to victory.
Every one of our battles so far has been important, yes. But this one seems almost overwhelmingly so. Especially considering how far we have come to get here.
But at the same time, it all feels like it's happened so quick. I mean, I can remember the Empire declaring war on the Church as if it were yesterday.
If you don't mind me asking, Your Majesty, say we do get the monastery back. What happens then?
We push forward to Enbar, of course. After that, I can't say. But there's no sense speaking of such matters now. We must focus on the task at hand.
We are ever by your side, Your Majesty, no matter what comes next. All of us have chosen this path, and we will stand by it.
What's wrong, Mercy? Are you nervous?
Oh, no. I was just thinking about something. Do you remember that Death Knight who was fighting with the Empire? I wonder where he is now.
Huh. Good question. He used to show up all the time, but it's been a while since he's made an appearance. I guess we better be ready for him to come charging out at any moment, just to be safe.
Yes, I think you're right. He was quite the warrior.
Come on, everyone. We've got to get to ALL before the enemy catches on to us.
Azure Gleam. Clash of Torment. The Kingdom, Alliance, and Church of Seros join hands, laying bare their true aim, forcing the Empire to split their army between the Eastern and Western fronts. Their united armies gather their elite soldiers in the Valley of Torment and begin the march to reclaim Garreg Mach. However, the Empire will not sit idly by and let them take it.
Nice of you to swing by, Dimitri. Looks like we're all here then.
Apologies for the wait. How go the preparations?
All set. We're ready to ring in the new year with the greatest victory Fodlan has ever seen.
Every last soldier we could find is in formation and raring to go.
You'll see for yourself soon enough, and I think you're gonna like how it's looking. Are you planning on heading south right away?
That was my intention, yes. Why? Does something trouble you?
A bit, yeah. We got a report just over a month ago that Count Burgleys had withdrawn from the Eastern Front. Which happens to line up exactly with when we pulled our own forces back. It's all a little too convenient, if you ask me. What I'm not sure of is whether he puzzled out our plan with Garrett Mock, or if he fell back to fortify Enbar instead. I guess the real question is how crafty the people calling the shots for the Imperials are.
They left quite the impression on us.
He's right. We had our hands full and more over in the west. Every time we claimed a territory, we'd look for spots to set up camp, only to find the army had razed all the towns and fields to the ground as they retreated.
If they're going that far, there's a good chance they've caught on to our plan. Though I doubt they're expecting all their enemies to come marching through the Valley of Torment hand in hand.
Couldn't we have picked an easier way, though? I'm practically swimming in sweat in this heat. Let's just hope we're almost out.
I see you have scarcely changed from your days at the Academy, Hilda.
Sedith and Lady Rhea, are you joining the cause as well?
I refuse to spectate from afar while the fate of Fodlan hangs in the balance.
Well, sure, but if something were to happen to you, it would be the end of the whole church.
I am capable of taking care of myself, and I want nothing more than to aid you in this battle.
We know every inch this valley has to offer. Allow us to guide you.
If we can traverse it unnoticed, we should arrive at Garreg-Mach without incident. The valley's terrain, however, is well suited for ambushes and other such craven tactics.
Yes. We must exercise the utmost caution as we proceed. Our movements should be not only swift, but sensible.
And in the off chance we do face hostilities, we'll surely require help from the Knights of Seros.
If need be, I will lead them myself. Now come, let us restore our rightful claim to Garreg-Mach, and put an end to this monstrous tyranny.
Would you mind listening to my idea?
I have an idea. I'll do it.
Now then.
Excuse me.
What must we do to attain victory over such a fierce opponent? Speak of your next goal. I wish to be of as much use to you as I can, seeing as we're partners in destiny. Strength alone will be insufficient. We must be clever as well. We be. Since joining the Kingdom Army, I've been to a myriad of places and seen all variety of landscapes. But LL is truly extraordinary. I don't think there's anywhere else like it in all Fodlan. Have you heard of the story of how it came to be? That this is all the work of the goddess. It's just a folktale, but think of how terrifying it would be if it were true.
Aww.
If the goddess saw our current state of affairs and got angry again, then we would all be in grave danger. think Solstice is the least of your worries, my dude.
Oh, yeah.
His Majesty and Felix have really risen to the occasion. 10 years ago, they were squabbling over who broke whose sword. Now look at them. One's a king and the other's a duke. They're fighting out each other's side, issuing orders to other lords. I won't lie, it's still hard to believe. Maybe it's time I got my act together too. Probably. Here you go.
Whoa, are you...
Did you know?
I was recently reunited with Hilda after a terribly long time apart. She had been very worried about me. She's always spoken so kindly to me, even at the Officers Academy. I had thought it best to keep others at arm's length, and never even so much as said thank you to them. But when we were separated, I found myself missing Hilda dearly. I guess what I'm saying is, nice to have a friend. She makes me feel stronger and more courageous. It's only a matter of time before the enemy gets wind of what we're after. In fact, they might have already.
Well, what do you think?
It would be wise to consider the possibility of a massive battle in the Valley of Torment. Right, we should be catching the enemy off guard, but they might have enough time to deploy a small elite force. That probably depends on Count Hevering, since he's defending the West, and how quickly the Emperor will react. The sooner she does, the more likely they'll send a larger army.
Right.
That being said, we're also deploying a small raiding party of our most elite in anticipation of that. Not to mention we'll be doing battle in LL, where larger numbers aren't particularly at an advantage. I don't think it'll be impossible to win.
Oh, Yuri, you're back? I thought you'd still be away.
Well, look who it is. I figured if I didn't come back before sunset, someone might get worried and ransack my room again.
I wasn't ransacking. You're gonna keep holding that over my head, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Just joking, friend. No need to take everything so seriously. Anyway, it's late. Shouldn't you be getting some shut-eye?
Probably, but I just got my second wind. How was your mom, by the way?
Well, it's not looking good, that's for sure. But she's still got some fight in her yet. I'd planned on staying longer, but she told me to do what I had to do and sent me on my way. One minute she wants to see me, the next she's telling me to go home. Honestly, she's all over the place.
Reminds me of my mom. The one who raised me, anyway.
She passed away, didn't she? Judging by your expression, she must have been pretty special.
She was. More than I can say. She took me in when I'd been abandoned. Taught me how to live. We weren't blood related, but she was my mom. No doubt about it.
I'm sure wherever she is now, she's very happy to hear you say that.
Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to ask you something. It's been on my mind for a while now. About your real name. Your mom gave it to you, right? Where does it come from? I've never heard anything like it before.
Look up. No, a little more to the left. See that bright star over there?
Oh.
Bright star. To the left? Which one? There are thousands of stars up there, and they're all bright.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter if you find it or not. Anyway, it's that star's ancient name. The white star that the goddess herself made into a disciple. My mother is a devout follower of Ceros. But I know it's a pretty ostentatious name for a penniless kid.
I don't think so. It just shows how much you mean to her.
Yeah. Well, I do like it. She gave it to me after all. I'm not sure how much of the scriptures she really understands. But knowing her, I'm certain she put a lot of consideration into my name.
Then doesn't it seem like kind of a waste not to use it? What with how much thought she put into it.
I've used many names, and each one comes with its own mask. But when I hear my real name, all those facades fall away. The only people who can call me that are those who are truly special to me. Immediate family, or someone just as important. Which means that if you're so intent on using my name, you'd better be willing to spend the rest of your life by my side.
Rest of my life, huh? Okay, I'll think about it.
The look on your face right now, it's priceless. Regardless, it does make me happy to hear that you like my name. And if you ever decide you're up for it, let me know, okay? I'll think it over too, just in case.
Cuties. It's been so long, Father. How have you been faring in the Alliance? Just fine, Annette. I am relieved to see no harm has come to you. Yeah, the others do a good job of looking out for me. Are you going to be joining us in the fight for Garrett Mach? I would like to, but I've been charged with managing our reserve troops. Once I have finished here, I am to return to the capital to gather Duke Ifon and Margrave Gautier.
No way!
Working yourself to the bone as usual. Not that I want you fighting on the front lines. But isn't running around doing all those errands exhausting? Indeed it is, but you must forgive me. These duties bear great importance as well. And pat them on the head. Where we are now isn't unbearable, but I'm sure it will get hotter once we enter the valley.
That isn't good.
Many people from Fargus don't do well in the heat, so I can't help but be concerned for them. There's gotta be a way to stay cool even in the valley. Maybe we can ask someone who knows ice magic. Oh yes, that must work. That might work. We can consult with the scholars. We won't be in any condition to fight if we're all exhausted when we reach the monastery.
I was thinking, got a minute?
The previous leader of the Alliance looked gentle as a kitten, but was a tough as nails old man who kept his cards close to his chest. What do you think of the new guy, Claude? I've been doing some digging into him.
Huh?
I'm not sure yet. Why are you looking into the guy?
Nah.
I've got my reasons. Nothing worth talking about, though. Then why mention it? Doofus?
Welcome. Is that the one? Nothing but the best for you. Nothing but the best for you. Nothing but the best for you. Is that the one? Is that the one? Is that the one? Is that the one? Come back soon.
That's concerning.
Sure feels strange fraternizing with our arch nemesis. But bridging the gap is all part of the fun. Suppose you didn't get the pun. You see, it's a play on arch nemesis and bridging the... God damn it. What do you think? I've been really sharpening my joke skills these past 2 years. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. I had our formations adjusted so that I could avoid the knights. Well, Lady Rhea specifically. But I didn't expect that she'd come to this camp herself. I doubt the Kingdom Army expected it either.
I hate to ask, but...
I don't mind if you talk to Lady Rhea, but just keep us out of it. And especially don't mention Byleth. The two of them have a bit of a complicated history. Well, you're gonna get this anyway.
You really know your stuff.
Garrick Mox is smack dab in the middle of Fulton, right?
Yeah.
I know it's got historical significance, but is it really worth sacrificing so many lives over?
Let's see.
It's a huge building, probably with some crazy catacombs underneath. Who knows what kind of secrets they might be hiding down there? You think so too, huh? There definitely were some suspicious passages beneath the monastery.
Hey!
They say that long ago this area wasn't a valley, but a lush, vast forest. But when the goddess saw how thoroughly corrupt humans had become, she flew into a rage. She unleashed divine judgment from the heavens, reducing the entire region of Elel to ash. Do you think the flames are still burning under the ground after all this time? I don't know, Ash.
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army. Everything has its use.
Well...
The String army would have invaded by now if we didn't have the Margrave keeping watch. After one particularly fierce conflict long ago, it was agreed that String and its people would be subject to Fargus's will. However, they still attack in hopes of claiming our fertile lands.
Incidentally...
On the other hand, Desker and Fargus had a tumultuous relationship decades ago. And yet you can count the number of conflicts between the two of them on one hand. That could be due to Desker's lands being more fertile than the ones in Fargus.
Hey there. Need something?
I need lots of somethings. No. Cute. I need a killer lance, please. Thank you. Wait. Yeah, this one. Man.
Is this it? Is this it? Is this it? Is this it? See you around.
Yep. The Valley of Torment. 9 Emblem since chills down my spine. And even if I survive, my father's going to be waiting at Garrick Mock on the other side. I'm doubly terrified. Y'all go ahead. I'm just going to bury it under a blanket forever.
Come on.
Hang in there, Bernadetta. You can do this. We're going to need all our best fighters to win this thing. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I can do this.
You there.
If this plan works and we retake Garrick Mock, then the war will be over, as long as the Empire isn't run by fools, that is. Yeah, it'd be nearly impossible for the Empire to make a comeback after losing Garrick Mock. All that's left is to see if they're capable of admitting defeat, right?
Alright.
Pretty much. If they don't, then we'll have to keep taking them out till there's no one left.
My instruction comes at a high price. neglect your daily studies.
What are these people thinking approaching Garrickmach through the insufferable valley? It's unbearably hot, paths precarious, and danger looks around every corner. Ugh, what a misery. It's so depressing, in fact, that I want to go back to bed. Benhart, no.
Greetings.
Now that the Alliance forces have joined us, we should be returning to Clot's command. However, we will continue to work with you until we have reclaimed the monastery. Glad to hear it. I was worried you would all cut out and clear as soon as you could. We fought so many battles together at this point, it's like you belong here anyway. The order comes from Claude, but it was never our intention to leave partway through. We are proof of a friendship between the Kingdom and the Alliance, so to speak, we appreciate your continued cooperation. Let me get water.
A moment.
I know the terrain from Garrickmach to LOL. I shall act as our guide. Of course, the Archbishop will be leading us in battle and is prepared to employ the full might of the Knights of Saros. If we squander this opportunity, so too goes our chance to retake Garrickmach. We must succeed at all costs. The goddess's protection is on our side. Let us fight together to claim victory. At long last, it seems we will be able to return to Garrickmach. The monastery is like home to me. It's the only place I can imagine going back to. I vowed to do my very best, so I hope you all will lend me your strength. Once we're safely behind Garrickmach's walls again, I hope we can reopen the Officers' Academy as well.
Well.
What Mercedes said about the Death Knight has been bothering me. I also talked to some people in the Alliance army, and they haven't seen him either. A monster like him can't live without fighting, so it's hard to believe he's just gone.
What do you think?
Maybe he left the military. Life pulls you in all sorts of directions, you know? I really think he'd do that. Doesn't sound likely to me. Still, it's all fine with me if it means we don't have to face him again.
We must speak.
I've returned to Ello. Last time I was defeated and surrendered. At that time I was chasing the Archbishop. She's here now also. Is this what is called fate?
That reminds me.
Yeah, it definitely seems like a twist of fate. But this time you're fighting on the same side. Yes, we were enemies then. Now we are allies. We will not be losing. Feels like a bad omen for battle. Perhaps that is why my heart is racing. We're fine. It's fine.
Time to work you into shape.
Silverheart, huh? Okay, that's a new one. Okay. Nope. No. Not that either. Kitty.
I can make this work.
Oh, no. I'll do that. Oh, poopy.
That felt good. Let's do it again.
I'm getting better.
Oh, Fury needs one too.
Nope.
I've grabbed. I'll put.
Training can be the difference between victory and defeat.
welcome.
Not gonna.
Sylvain needs more.
Well, I don't.
Been a while since the two of us had a serious fight. It reminds me of when we first met.
Oh.
This is training, Balthus. Training. Don't come after me looking to mount my head on your wall.
I love it.
In a word, uneventful. There must
A new path.
A new.
How can I... Getting strong?
The more...
Got to.
I didn't...
Hey. I feel like I've. How can I.
I work. Yeah.
There must.
I can't wait.
For it.
I could use the.
Can't...
Hey. I feel like.
Petra. Dimitri.
Time to work you into shape. I wonder if...
A new power. How can...
Training can be the difference between victory and defeat.
Will this help me grow?
For his...
A new...
I think.
Yes.
This is I could use this.
No, so
Can't wait.
Hey, I feel...
Time to work you in. Can't wait to see how you do.
Need something?
I have been noticing that you are going out of your way to be helping me. Even more than the others. Why is this?
You're a foreign queen. Neglecting you would reflect poorly on His Majesty.
You do not need to be worrying. I possess skill at adapting. Before, I was thinking Fargus was too cold. But now, I have become adapted to it.
Good.
But I am experiencing a problem. I still have struggles with the language of Fodlan. Perhaps you can be teaching me?
Me? Teach you the language?
Yes. I know the tongue of Dusker also has many differences from Fodlan's. But you speak as if this is your land of home.
You give me too much credit.
I am spending my days with native speakers just like you. And I am always studying with hardness. But you are still surpassing me in this language. How did you become this way?
His Majesty taught me. He felt it unproductive to communicate in broken sentences, so we spent years teaching each other.
An exchange of languages! That idea is a wonderful one. If Dimitri found success teaching you, maybe you can be doing the same for me. Do we have agreement?
Why me?
You said that Dimitri is not wanting me to be neglected. Not being able to convey my feelings is giving me great sadness. It is making me feel frustration and loneliness.
Aww.
When I was first in Fodlan, I could not be saying anything in this language. Whenever Edelgard was speaking to me, I could only be staring back at her with big, confused eyes. Then I decided to be studying on my own. But the nobles were laughing and saying my words were ugly.
It was the same for me, but His Majesty was always close. If ever I struggled with a word, he would teach me.
But I was a hostage. I was without such a teacher. Until today. Now I am having you.
I suppose you do.
That's cute.
I've really done it this time.
Well, if it isn't Balthus. What's wrong? That was a legendary sigh.
Yuri, pal! Hear me out for a sec, will ya? There were these mercs, and I may have made a bet with them.
Of course you did.
Yeah, you lost, I get it. But we've got bigger issues to discuss.
Must be a pretty big deal if it's more important than me losing my dinner to those mercs.
It's come to my attention that one of my business associates is looking for a certain giant broke fool.
What? That's it? I'll just break him in half, and then we can move on with our lives. Not a problem.
I figured you'd say that, which is exactly why I came to tell you not to. See, this particular associate hires out quite a few of my people. I can't have a bruiser like you turning them into corpses.
Can't I just rough him up enough to get him off my back? A few broken bones never killed anyone.
Come now. You know there's no way I'd let you get away with that. I'd use every last one of my contacts to make sure you never win another bet for the rest of your life.
Whoa, cut a guy a break, would ya? I wouldn't put it past you to actually follow through.
I take it we've reached an understanding then. I suggest you lay low until things blow over. Clear? Even after all this time, her ability to enrage people still manages to astound me.
Hey, it's not as bad as it used to be. The price on my head's never been lower. On the flip side, the price for my skills has only gone up. I've been making money hand over fist as a mercenary.
Then why do you keep betting it away?
The stakes keep getting higher and higher, so my pockets remain as empty as ever.
I can't help but sigh in disappointment listening to you talk. You're seriously lucky I'm not happy. You'd be neck deep in monsters.
Alright, I hear you. But enough about me. What have you been getting up to since you left Abyss?
Oh, I just went back to my old gang. They were my home before the Officers' Academy, after all. But I still had to take on some mercenary work to keep my people fed and things running smoothly. It's been a rough couple of years, and thanks to that, my once stunning physique has been spoiled by all this muscle.
Really? You still look pretty scrawny to me. Your skill with the blades improved, though, that's for sure.
Well, when you're forced to fight, you either improve or you die. Still, I've got nothing on you. You practically live for a good brawl, after all.
These fists have never let me down. No matter the enemy, I'm always the one who walks away. Say, Yuri, I just had a brilliant idea.
I have a feeling I'm going to regret asking. But sure, let's hear it.
If this associate of yours doesn't catch me, you and your underlings are gonna have to take responsibility, right?
Most likely. I knew what I was getting into when I told you to back down. I've made my peace.
Yeah? Well, I'm not about to leave my buddy Yuri holding the bag while I sit on my hands.
Balthus?
So, to make things fair, let's have ourselves a little wager to decide which of us is gonna take the fall.
Oh dear.
That way, if you lose fair and square, it'll give you an out, yeah? You'll have no other choice but to take your goons back from that client, and they won't get pummeled by yours truly. Problem solved!
Hypothetically, if I were to take this bet, what happens if you lose?
I'll do what I always do. Take my shirt off, jump out in front of them, and run away as they look on in awe.
Oh my goodness.
This is what I get for trying to help. You love taking off your clothes almost as much as you do gambling. No wonder your pockets are always empty.
Oh, ow. I go this way. Okay.
That's not good.
There haven't been any sightings of Ferdy or Hubie in months. I hope they've been merely stripped of their station and not something worse. I know there are enemies, but I wonder if we'll see them at Garrick-Mach. Maybe.
Care to make yourself useful?
Counting on you both.
We'll handle this together.
Leave it to me. We all must do our fair share.
Curious. Oh, just so wow. That's disappointing.
Oh, hi!
We're gonna take back the monastery next, aren't we? It's been ages. I miss the Officers Academy. I was never good at book learning, but it was fun hanging out with everyone from our classes. What do you remember most?
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably the mock battle, though I wouldn't say it's exactly a good memory. Oh yeah, you got yourself into a real mess back there. We had a pretty great party afterwards, though.
Oh, man.
I wonder what's going on at the monastery right now. Is anyone from the old days still there? I see something to read. Chapter 9, A Royal Dilemma. With King Klaus on his deathbed stricken with fear, Prince Christopher's troubles were only just beginning. So sudden was his great father's illness that the king had yet to decide which of his sons would succeed him. Christopher's eldest brother, Benfig, was a talented warrior and military strategist, but he was also a gentle soul with no desire for war or power. Leadership would not suit him. His younger brother, Kite, had his father's wisdom and was able to remain cool and calculating no matter the situation. However, that was precisely why the knights regarded him as too cold-hearted. Unlike his brothers, Christopher lacked a crest and thus the strength befitting a member of the royal family, so he had never seriously considered challenging either of his brothers for the throne. However, the thought of one of his brothers dying in a struggle for succession was almost more than he could bear. One day, Klaus's sister, Morianne, found a note supposedly written by her brother. It simply said, "He who is most beloved by the people shall have the throne," in what was unmistakably Klaus's handwriting. This brief note would become the impetus for a tragic and bloody war of succession. When the fighting was done, the knights split into 3 factions, each supporting a different prince. The Knights of Fargus sided with Benfig, Mock with Crofer, and Lister with Kite. They agreed to divide the kingdom itself into 3 as well. She despaired that her scheme had failed. Her plan to install her preferred Prince Kite as king was disrupted by one so banal as Christopher and Crofer. Now innumerable casualties, 3 brothers. No, after innumerable casualties, 3 brothers were putting down their weapons. This appears to be a novel retelling of part of Fargus's history. Bang, bang. Up here. It's alright, Missy.
Hey.
A lot of people in church are wound up about that power of yours. Some of them even suspect you're in league with Tomas. But I don't even think that's true. I can trust you, right?
Right on.
Of course. I'm not good at putting one over on people anyway. Gotcha. You know, I was told to keep you away from Lady Rhea, but she seems to trust you, so I'm not going to worry about it.
Say.
So tell me, are you one of those people worried about Lady Rhea's ability to command on the front lines?
Nuh-uh.
Nah, not really. She used to deploy the knights to settle conflicts, didn't she? And to good effect from what I've heard. It's not hard to imagine she would make a great commander. That's right, she's got more experience leading armies than most of her generals combined. I wanted to fight by her side, but Lady Rhea insisted I aid the Kingdom Army. 2 more over here. Oh, here's Byleth.
Hey!
You look puzzled. Something wrong?
No.
It just feels strange. Everyone's been much more welcoming than I thought they'd be. No one's all that terrified of me. Aww. Gargamok lies before us at last, the final piece of our strategy. Enemy could be lurking anywhere though, so we need to keep our wits about us. Eliel's harsh environment and unusual terrain make it suitable for large armies. But it's perfect for guerrilla tactics. The enemy is not the only one who will be taking advantage of that.
Greetings. So it is.
I have heard tell of your exploits. You have been working rather hard despite your station as a mercenary. While it may not have been for the church, you saved our lives nonetheless. As the Archbishop of the Church of Seros, allow me to express my sincere gratitude.
You sure?
Oh, it was nothing. No need to thank me personally or anything. You have earned the goddess's favor, regardless of your beliefs. The Empire, on the other hand, must face severe punishment for inciting such a foolish conflict. That's how you continue to wield your magnificent power with righteousness.
I entrust this to
For
you.
Poland and all those who reside here, I'm counting on you. Need more water. Yeah. It's quite fortunate we were able to convince Geralt's mercenaries to join our cause.
Indeed.
Indeed, I have no doubt they will play a key role in recapturing Gargamok. Hi, Jojo! Come again, Ninja Pie. Well, it pains me to send them into battle when they wish to avoid the church. Bolden's fate hangs in the balance. We have no choice but to rely on their strength. Yes, we must join forces now and end this conflict as swiftly as possible. You can get on the bed, sweetie. Up, up. Up, up. Up, up. Good boy. Who's left? Oh, there's nothing. Dear Father and Mother, it's been 4 months since my last letter. The days showed no sign of warming, but I hope you're keeping well. The instructors here are really putting us through paces, and His Highness is a demanding training partner, to say the least. Still, I'm managing to enjoy myself. I'm writing to let you know that I've asked to join the Dusker troop planned for the I'm writing to let you know that I've been asked to join the Dusker trip planned for the Horsebow Moon. I know Father was rather concerned about such a possibility last we met, but probably trained enough so in the worst case scenario I could be his human shield. When I joked about such a thing, His Highness said he didn't find that funny. Maybe in a break between discussions in Dusker I could get planned to return to the castle. I want to see how far Felix with my own eyes. Tell him not to neglect for me, will you? I hope if he ever hopes to best me, let alone His Highness, he'll have to start training by dragging boulders up a mountain. P.S. The other day I received a very nice dagger sent it to Galatea with a letter. If she ever comes to Frodelius, let her know how much I miss. Govan Frodelius. Someone's letter home to their families. Writing a snare. Aww. I have finally returned to my old self. Now my name shall be known throughout all of Fargus as well. Good luck with that. How are you going to make a name for yourself?
Indeed.
Through magic, of course. My aim is to master the magical arts. I swear one day I shall restore House Nouvelle to its former glory. Good luck with that. Kitchen!
Hunger is the true enemy.
Bye. Teehee.
So.
This is one of my favorites. Thank you.
This reminds me of my youth.
Come back whenever you're hungry. Hunger is the true enemy.
I'm not trying to choose the same unit twice.
Solid.
How'd you know I love this stuff?
Oh, but this is simply scrumptious.
Come back whenever you're hungry. Hunger is the true enemy.
I'm making a bun in a pot. Because that makes sense.
Hey, this is...
Oh, thanks. Hold on. How'd you know this was my favorite?
Come back whenever you're hungry. Hunger is the true enemy.
Solid.
This is delicious.
I don't want your
Come back whenever you're hungry. Hunger is the true enemy.
Yeah, the flavor's not...
Then you know my food preferences? But how? No, it matters not. You have my thanks.
This is heavenly.
Come back whenever you're hungry. Hunger is the true enemy. Come back whenever you're hungry.
Do another chore.
Care to make yourself useful?
Get the dads. Two of the dads.
Counting on you both.
Let's get this over with.
Indeed. Let's give it our best.
We all must do our fair share.
Oop, wrong button.
Sit down, Felix.
Can we make this quick? I'm busy.
For once, would you please just... No, not today. The truth is, I think it's time we sat down and talked. Neither of us know which day could be our last, so we should both ensure there's no lingering regret when the time comes.
Well, this is off to a grim start. So, what is it you want to talk about?
I wanted to apologize for what I said about Glenn. It was ill put, and I'm sorry. I should never have said such a thing in your presence.
If you're going to explain yourself, I suppose I can make the time to hear you out.
Thank you. Then I will not mince words. I too was mortified by Glenn's death. Yet he perished a hero. He chose that life for himself, and he chose that death. He fought to protect the future of Fargus and his friend until his dying breath. As his father, I felt I had to acknowledge that choice.
And how are you so sure it was his choice? Neither of us really knows what he was thinking. The boar might have an inkling, but all he goes on about is how he caused Glenn's death.
You're right. I don't know for certain. But I know what I would have done had I been there. And you, Felix? What would your choice have been? Would you have abandoned His Majesty to save yourself? Or would you have chosen to fight until death claimed you? I myself would have safeguarded His Majesty at all costs. I know that it wasn't in Glenn's nature to flee either.
It's always about courage or cowardice with you. I wouldn't have chosen anything. When your life's on the line, you don't have time to think about that stuff. Only act. I would have fought with my own will, in whatever way I thought best. And I would have made sure we both survived.
You always want to have it both ways. Still, I take pride in that determination of yours. Had I been there, I doubt I could have summoned the resolve to strive for such a victory. More likely, I would have been satisfied merely to die in the defense of my liege.
I can understand that way of thinking. In fact, I always have. But I still couldn't stomach Glenn's death being glorified.
And I'm sorry for that, Felix. Truly.
It's all right. And I'm glad we talked. Also, you said we shouldn't leave regrets behind, so I'm sorry too. For hitting you back then, I mean. I'm sorry, Father.
You know, I'd almost forgotten about that. It hurt, too. More than any blow I've received in battle.
Oh, shut up. I said I was sorry. Now, if we're done here, I'm leaving.
Yeah. Winnie. Hey, Parallax.
Nice of you to finally join us. Yeah, sorry about that. This is quite the lineup you've got here, though. Nothing but the best.
I appreciate your eye for quality. But yes, we have Shamir, Catherine, and Gustav. And of course, myself and Captain Gerald. The Knights of Seros are reunited at last.
Alois!
Wait, you Knights of Seros?
Oh, you and your big mouth. Yeah, I used to work with them in the past. It's not a big deal. But back to the matter at hand. There's clearly something big cooking to gather a crew like this.
Something really big. I can smell it. So come on, old man. Dimitri must have told you what's going on. Old man. Hey, when you've known him as long as I have, you can call him whatever you want. Go on, Gustav.
We have been asked to hunt down what remains of the Dark Mages commanded by Cornelia.
Now I see why you put this team together.
My apologies, but there appears to be a backstory here which I am not aware of.
You recall how Tomas wielded an unknown power to commit his wicked deeds, yes? Well, a being with similar power once made her nest in Ferdiad. And while we were able to defeat her, we recently located a cave she was using as a hideout. According to reports, some of her dark mage thralls are still there, and preparing to leave imminently. When they do, we will launch a surprise attack and finish them off in one fell swoop.
So cut down the mages before they can escape. Easy enough. Or maybe not so easy, considering who we're up against. We'd best stay on our toes.
Yeah.
Yet, I remain convinced our combined powers are enough to prevail against even the stoutest foe. Just as we did back in our days with the Knights. And our Knights as well.
Knights, huh? Good one.
Oh, very good, very good. I'm glad someone here is sharp enough to appreciate my razor wit.
Do you ever stop messing around, Alois?
Let's just get on with this.
Shamir.
So who's actually leading this little operation? I mean, everyone here is more than capable of handling themselves on a battlefield. My place is on the front lines, swinging a sword. Leave the orders to somebody else. Yep, I'll follow whoever. You choose.
I will respect the group's decision.
In that case, I think there can
Oy.
only be one choice. Captain Gerald.
Me, huh? Great. I'd have better luck herding cats than getting this ragtag team to fall in line.
Oh my goodness. Oh boy, those who slither in the dark.
The enemy's...
I've got it. Need some backup? Time to go to work. Let me show you how it's done.
Split up, and you should do the same. Don't let them get away. At my own pace.
Left to our own devices already? I'm not sure if this is trust or indifference.
Daring tactics such as this are all part of Captain Gerald's signature style.
None of that daring wore off on you when you were his right-hand man.
Then perhaps it's right I be left behind.
Oh my goodness.
You think this rickety little stronghold can slow me down? Don't make me laugh. Not a problem. I've got this. Take a breather. I live. I'll take point.
Move at my own pace. The rest of this goes just...
Time to go to work. Let me show you.
just smoothly.
We've got more over here. Not a problem. Not a problem. You think this rickety little stronghold can slow me down? Don't make me laugh.
What the hell?
I've got this.
Get up!
This stronghold will fall!
They got away. You really messed this one up.
Alright.
The enemy's split. I'm on it. Let's see how it goes.
I've got it. Let's give it a shot. Time to go to work. Let me show you how it's done.
Up. And we should do the same. Don't let them get away.
Left to our own devices already? I'm not sure if this is trust or indifference.
Daring tactics such as this are all part of Captain Gerald's signature style.
I'm not finished. Shame none of that daring wore off on you when you were his right-hand man.
Then perhaps it's right I be left behind.
No.
It's not over. You think this rickety little stronghold can slow me down? Don't make me laugh.
It's not over. Bring it down!
Looks like we're good. Hope the rest of this goes just as smoothly.
Time to go to work. Let me show you how it's done.
I'm on it. Let's see how it goes.
I've got it. Let's give it a shot. We've got more over here.
To me, Lady Catherine. I shall stuff them in their tracks.
Knight of the royal family indeed. This sure takes me back to when you were with the knights, I mean. We were always pairing up like this. And striking down our enemies. I could always count on you to watch my back. Should I start calling you partner again? Oh, couldn't hurt.
Couldn't hurt. That's fun.
Here it comes! think we handled our business? There are bound to be more lurking in the shadows.
Something like that.
I'm on it. Let's see how it goes.
Time to go to work. Let me show you how it's done. I've got it. Let's give it a shot.
Everyone, join up and fight as one. Don't let them through.
They're fighting as one, then fighting the dust.
Don't forget smiting our foes.
Still improving.
I'm on it. Let's see how it goes.
Your marksmanship is still first class, Shamir. As is your blade work, Thunder Catherine. Don't tease.
Heh. That's oh god. Getting turned around. Let's not get turned around. Don't like it. Oh,
The
that's
faces
why.
may be unfamiliar, but the Knights of Seros remain as formidable as ever.
I don't know. Seeing you fight makes me wish I could see the old knights in action.
Hurry, Liz.
Looks like we got him. Good work, everyone.
Right back at you, Gerald. Let's keep it up. Maybe we should try to get ahead of the enemy and cut off their escape.
Great minds think alike. Let's go.
They're undisciplined. Where do they think they're going?
Here it comes! Take this!
Ah, you clever beasts. We can't permit you to cut us off.
Make haste. If we can subdue those strong...
Time to go to work. Let me show you how it's done. I've got it. Let's give it a shot.
I'm on it. Let's
Strongholds, we can block off their escape.
Here it comes! Out of the way! You're done! Let's clear it out.
I pray you might afford me the pleasure of sacking this place myself.
Oh my goodness.
So many jokes. Is he trying to impress us?
I believe this is how he shows his excitement.
You think this rickety little stronghold can slow me down? Don't make me laugh.
bring it down.
It's not over.
I must put on a fine show for the captain.
I miss my Neumes. You can't New me anymore. Go back this way. This way. And then I can go this way. Oh. Getting myself turned around.
We've captured all the strongholds. Our enemy has nowhere to run
Okay, I'm here now.
You've done well, everyone. But where's their commander?
I knew we shouldn't have shown up for this.
Oh, hello, Cromwell.
Beasts. Ha! How filthy. Cleobulus is getting careless.
Those must be the leaders. Let's finish this.
This should be fun. Let them taste the blade of the goddess's servants. Out of the way. You're done.
I shall help as well.
Say, isn't this the one who got in our way?
Certainly looks like it. Kids these days.
I was hoping for another crack in these snakes.
They seem to be a cut above the nobodies from before. Alois, stay sharp.
And a race, Captain.
Stand these vermin. Wipe them all out. In the name of Taurus.
You mean like that?
No, not again. What am I going to tell Taurus this time?
Oh, you fucked up.
Let that one go. We still have the other. This is just the beginning.
I wish I trained in those techniques you use. Makes me want to do this all Luis over again.
No. Not here for long, my dude.
Pack of beasts has me reeling. But I must abandon this place.
Yeah, we did it.
Not too happy we let them go, but I'd say we achieved our goal. More or less.
Indeed. Though we must report news of the escapees to His Majesty.
Well, that was a deal. I mean, not that I'm complaining.
Peace.
Well, that's that. Sure made us work for it, though.
And a few still got away. But I think we did pretty well, all things considered. How about you? Getting the drop on them like that really took the wind out of their sails. So while I think we all fought well, Gerald's command was what really brought the win home.
Hear, hear. There's no way I could have led a motley bunch like this.
What are you talking about? All of you just ran around out there like chickens with your heads cut off. But hey, if you're handing out praise, I'll take it.
I've not had so thrilling a battle in an age. When will this same group ever take the field again?
When I do the next one.
Maybe never.
You may be right. These days I find myself on guard duty in Ferdiad, and you all have plenty going on in your own careers. It is unlikely we'll be together like this again.
I can't help but feel a bit wistful. Once, we shared the same mission during the day and broke bread together at night. But now...
We could do that again, you know. You could come back to the Knights of Saros. We're short-handed as it is, what with the war and all.
I appreciate the invitation, but I left the Order so I might continue to fight alongside Geralt and repay my debt to him. What's more, I've come to enjoy the freedom this lifestyle provides me.
Yeah, the Merc life has its perks for sure.
You sure about this, Eloise? If you want to go back, I won't stand in your way.
It almost sounds like you don't need me to do your bidding, and you'd rather bid me a doing.
No.
Even if this is our last time together, the experience will give us strength on our separate paths. Let us be satisfied with that.
Oh, and when Gerald gets tired of your jokes and kicks you out, we'll still take you back.
Oh, my dear Shamir.
You know, I've got my differences with the church, so I can't say I miss being a Knight of Saros. But today was pretty fun. If we ever get this chance again, count me in.
Pat Gerald on the head. He's good. Oh, I didn't. Okay, I'm just gonna accidentally hit the button there. Apparently. Oh, it was a support conversation. Okay. I mean, I'll take it.
Oh, hey. You fishing too?
Yeah.
Ease up, kid. We're on the same side now, remember?
I know. Guess I'm just not used to it yet.
We're not getting paid to kill each other anymore. We can just sit here like normal folks and catch some fish. You're a mercenary, right? For us, there's no such thing as friends or foes once that contract's paid.
Yeah, I know that too. You, don't remember me, do you?
Should I?
I used to run with Burling's mercenaries.
Burling. Ah, yes. That woman was an army unto herself.
Yeah, but you and your company wiped us out. My captain, my comrades, every last one of them died in that battle.
So that's what this is about. You have a grudge against me?
No, I don't. Wouldn't be much of a merc if I held a grudge against everyone I fought. But it was tough at the time. I really liked that scruffy crew. All of us got along, even the captain. They were the best group I'd ever been with. After what happened, I made myself a promise. I was gonna get stronger, and someday I would defeat you and the Ashen Demon.
But we're allies now, so you're gonna have to let that go, huh?
Looks like it. But you know, part of me is relieved. I don't think I could have beaten the Ashen Demon anyway.
Hey now, what about me? Or are you saying you could take me?
Oh, no, unless I try. By the way, for a regular guy just catching some fish, you haven't even got your hook on.
Yeah, well, these old mitts aren't exactly made for tying tiny knots.
Give it here. I'll do it.
Not half bad, kid. Thanks.
People call you a legendary mercenary, but you're a lot less dexterous than I imagined.
Legendary is what they call dead people. I'm still alive and kicking, you know. Hey, and about what happened with Burling. I'm sorry. The whole thing was just two minor lords trying to get the better of each other. If Burling hadn't come for us, we could have avoided all the bloodshed. But she came roaring in, yelling that she would take us down and make a name for herself. My kid couldn't afford to hold back at that point. I know that doesn't make it better, but I hope it helps.
What's done is done. You were just doing your job. I know that.
No. That's them on the head. Okay. Oops. I'm gonna save. And I'm gonna call it a day. I'm hungry. And I need to rest my voice.